A hamburger can change the world if the one holding it dares to think big enough. Donald Trump once said, "You have to think anyway, so why not think big?" A line that perfectly captures the philosophy of those who dare to bet everything on a vision larger than life itself. He wasn't talking about wishful thinking. He was talking about the belief that if you must think, then think of something capable of changing the world. Because small thoughts breed small actions, and often the only real limit is the frame we build around ourselves. There was once a man who wandered from town to town, selling milkshake machines, rejected hundreds of times, dismissed as a dreamer past his prime. But in his eyes, a small hamburger stand wasn't just a place to sell food, it was the seed of an empire. Where others saw risk, he saw opportunity. Where others felt content, he saw boundaries. And from that moment, he proved that thinking big doesn't just change a career, it changes history. That night, Ray sat alone in his car, watching the city lights fade in his rearview mirror. Another failed deal. Another laugh in his face. People said he was too old, too naive, that his time had passed. But deep inside, a voice whispered, "If you have to think, then think big." He didn't know why the words echoed so clearly, as if they came not from his mind, but from his soul. The next day, he arrived in a small town, where a modest hamburger joint called McDonald's stood. Just another diner like thousands of others. But as Ray watched the line of customers, he didn't just see fast food. He saw a new religion for the industrial age. Speed, convenience, consistency. He didn't see a hamburger. He saw a system. And in that instant, he realized he had just seen Buddha inside a beef patty. The owners, the McDonald brothers, were kind and humble men, believing that success meant simply earning enough to live well. But Ray smiled. He knew they were dreaming small, while the universe reserved its gifts for those who dared to dream to the edge of the impossible. At first, Ray only wanted to collaborate. But the deeper he got, the stronger the fire grew inside him. People called it ambition. He called it the expansion of consciousness. Where others saw limits, Ray saw doors. Where others feared losing, he feared never trying. One evening, his wife asked, "What are you trading everything for?" Ray looked at her, eyes distant. "I'm not trading, I'm being reborn." And so began the battle, between dreams and ethics, between ideals and power. Ray did everything. Persuaded, negotiated, borrowed, even seized control of the brand itself. They called him ruthless. But in his mind, there was only one thought. If you want to make a dream real, you must endure being misunderstood. Because those who dream big are always called crazy. When the first McDonald's Corporation opened, Ray stood high above the glowing parking lot, beneath the golden arches. Hundreds, then thousands of people ate the same burger, the same flavor, the same way. The world had become uniform. A new religion had been born, the religion of convenience. But when Ray turned around, the office was empty. No one was there to celebrate. His wife had left. The McDonald brothers were gone. And Ray realized he had become the lonely saint of ambition. That night, he sat in his office, a glass of whiskey in hand, the clock ticking, each tick striking a memory. His wife's eyes, the McDonald brothers' smiles, the little restaurant where he had once seen Buddha in a burger. Maybe I went too far, he thought. But the voice returned, that old familiar warm whisper. There is no far or near, only awake or asleep. You dreamed big enough to see your own shadow. Ray set the glass down and smiled. He finally understood. The world doesn't need perfect people. It needs those who dare to step beyond their limits, even if it costs them peace of mind. Thinking big isn't about chasing wealth or power. It's a state of the soul, when you dare to recognize the infinite potential within yourself. The universe is ever expanding, and so are we, its reflections. But expansion comes with a price, facing the darkest corners of our own ego. A true dreamer never conquers others. He conquers his own fear. If today you were free to think big, truly big, without fear of failure, what would you dare to imagine? Would you trade safety for a dream that sets your heart on fire? Write down that one thing you've always thought was too far away. Who knows? That might just be the beginning of your awakening.